Hello everyone, my name is Ijeoma Ucheibe and welcome back to my channel where I talk about human resource related content and its intersection with the law. Now today's topic is a very funny one, and it came about when I was having this discussion in a discussion group, or what I call it a training class for my upcoming SPHRI exams, which is like the Senior Professional Human Resources International certification. You should try it. It's a very engaging class. It's almost like when you're talking about the MBA in quotes of HR, right? And there was talk of corporate culture and how it's been influenced now that we have COVID and everyone has had to work remotely for a better part of the period, some for a year, some for a couple of months, some having this hybrid workforce where some people come to work on a shift basis and some have to work from home. And this topic of first name, do you address your colleague or do you address someone who is in the Gen Z or a baby boomer by his first name? Like, what with the first name culture? Like, is this such a big deal? Is this something that you should break your neck over? And these are my thoughts. This do not have any reflection on where I work or where I've worked before. Like I always say, these are my thoughts on the first name culture. Let's go. Anyways, before that, I forgot to recommend this book when I was talking about performance appraisals 2 weeks ago. This book is a must-have. You know, for some time before I got the hang of what performance appraisals were, coming from maybe institutions where they were not really very important, and having to do it at my current place of work, I had to read up to actually know what should be in a template or how it's going to be run, and making sure that every KPI that was stated for each person's job description had a SMART objective. We'll talk about that in a bit, but read up on the SMART objective of every appraisal system. It's everywhere on Google. So what I think about the first name, it's a cultural thing. If you're working for a global organization, say in the US or the UK, or even in Europe, or some places like South Africa, right, where it's not so much of a big thing because culturally it's not a big deal for you to address your boss, or for people who are actually in universities, for you to address your professor by their first names, because at the end of the day, it is this person's name. So they would rather you do not put anything before that designation. They don't want a brother or professor this or barrister this. Now that I'm a lawyer, I hear that a lot of people would call someone barrister Ijeoma. That barrister on itself, it's not a title. But there are so many topics I'm going to talk about on this channel. So for me, do I think it's a big deal? It's dependent on the organization, because I think that what we are seeing is we're like seeing a lot of Gen Zs and Generation Y, people born in 2000, coming into the workforce, and these are persons that are not, you can't tie them down with money. If they are not fulfilled at their jobs, they can wake up and leave after 2 days. So what do you do with that kind of workforce? Do you get frustrated that, oh, after the time I took to recruit this person and made sure that they were satisfied with their JD, they woke up one day and no? The Generation Z and Generation Y, you're going to be dealing with them a lot. You need to understand that this is the way they work. So how do you make sure the Generation Z and someone in the baby boomer generation work together on a project where everyone is satisfied? Number one, I'm going to use my friend, for instance. I was coming from a company where I used to address my boss by the designation of him being, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and that was my own way of saying, because I can't address you by a first name, I would rather call you this. But when I resumed at this new law firm, I got a shocker. On the very first day, my land manager this is someone that probably was called to the bar maybe when I was in primary school, was insistent on me calling him by his first name because he doesn't like being addressed as a managing partner or something like that. And it was new for me because yes, there's this cultural implications. Oh my god, he's older than me, why can't I call him managing partner or MP for short, or Mr. or Sir? They are all that. But he said, I would rather you address me as my name. Would you respect me than you call me sir? When I give you something to do or give you a task, you frown at it, then you turn your nose at me behind my back. Those sort of things. And we laughed about it, but it took me a while to get used to it. But right now, I've started inculcating that culture for people entering into the firm and letting them know that yes, it does not come with you having to pay any fine, but this is the way it's done here. It's a corporate culture. It makes everyone feel a little bit more at ease and like they're in a family. So if for me that first name basis is going to be such an issue, you can run a survey, maybe an employment satisfaction survey, right, to see, okay, this is something that we want to inculcate in our culture going forward. How do you guys think about it? Hear what they have to say, because as much as possible, yes, everybody's having to deal with COVID. We are going to have a lot of changes coming on in the employment circles and all that, but at the same time, it is a change management system that is coming. You are used to calling somebody sir, now you're asking them to address everyone, including the highest person who might be the chairman of the board, by their first name. They are not used to these things. Case in point, I stay in Lagos. I'm used to calling somebody I'm greeting the person in the native language, and I'm putting the E in front of it to denote that I respect you. How do you address that person as that name? You are uncomfortable because it's a cultural thing for you to feel like, oh, it might be disrespectful. The person who is in the baby boomer generation is thinking, oh my god, why are they trying to twist this in and make it look like all of a sudden everyone is their mate? You have to communicate this change. If you have to get change champions to drive down this change, that this person is addressing you does not mean that they have forgotten that you are their line manager, right? In cases like that. Secondly, we are trying to bring everyone on board. We want to get many ideas as much as possible. We are doing away with the suggestion box now. We want everyone to feel free to say what's in their mind. What is it that is making them unproductive at their job? Say, for instance, I have a performance appraisal of an employee and I have to put him on a PIP. By PIP, I mean performance improvement plan, for instance. I want him to be able to tell me, Ijeoma, this is why I'm not doing my job so well. This is challenges I'm facing, and the ones I can address to the best of my ability as his line manager or HR professional, depending on the context in which I had that conversation with the employee, I should be able to do that. So do I think the first name is such a big deal? No, it's not. Maybe because I work at a firm that does not make a big deal out of it. You shouldn't make a big deal out of it. But for firms that you know it's maybe larger than 100 employees and you want to drive down this chain, yes, you're going to typically start by giving off an internal communication template that this is what it looks very small, but we want to be able to communicate these changes in phases so that they don't feel forced to adapt. Then you need to also have change champions who will drive down this change. Yes, it looks like it's a first name, what's the big deal? But you need to have change champions who are going to drive down this change. And third, most importantly, after this change has occurred, you need to also make sure this change sticks and that everyone knows that this change has come to stay. It could take as long as 6 months. Yes, it looks like a very simple topic, but it will take as long as 6 months. Maybe because I met it on ground, it was easier for me to adapt and flow because, hey, I'm coming in to perform also HR functions, not just as a lawyer. So it was easier for me to adapt. But if you are going to drive something that's simple to some people, working in the UK or the US and Europe, and like, what's the big deal? Why is Ijeoma even doing a video on first name culture, right? But it is important for you, if you stay in a country like Nigeria that is culturally sensitive to the changes like this is what you need to do. So let me know what you think. Do you think the first name culture is being disrespectful of baby boomers who are employees in the organization? Do you think it's not a big deal, everyone should get over it? Or do you think it's a fad that would probably trend, and maybe tomorrow when people get tired of it, they're going to wake up and say we don't need this in our organization? Let me know in the comment section what you think. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you are engaging me in the comment section. Please like, please share, and please comment. I need to know what you think I should be talking about on my channel. But till I come your way next time, don't forget to stay safe, guys. Corona is still in town.